Okay. We're gonna go ahead, we're gonna walk out here. It's kind of a surprise. It's not really a surprise, but it's a surprise. Surprise! I bought a Blazer! So I just sat here and I recorded like 10 minutes worth of me talking about all this stuff and find out I didn't record any of it. So, let's get to it. So, standing right here off to my side is my brand new S10 Blazer I just bought. I like it. This one here is my old one, so now they're twinners. Because they're exactly the same Blazer. Like, no joke, almost exactly the same. They are both LT models, which is really cool. That one's an LT. Come over here, this one here is an LT. There's only a few minor differences with it. This one here I turned into a stick shift. It's got the nice leather seats. It's got the leather right up here on the door panel. It's the stick shift. I built it myself. I built it with the manual shifter down here. I still have the push buttons up here, but they don't work. They're not plugged in. I rerouted everything to the shifter because I thought, man, that would be so cool. You have a stick shift, and then you have the manual shift. Except what I didn't know when I was building this is, the reason I didn't want this is because of all the vacuum lines that run down the engine. But what I didn't know is I still had to have vacuum lines going to that. So that was honestly just a waste, but it looks cool. And it's actually just in a stock, it's all stock looking. This is actually out of Ford Ranger, this boot. And I built this lever and everything. It looks pretty good. It looks pretty stock for what it is, but it's not stock. They actually did not come with manuals like that, which is pretty cool. The 96 four-door came with manual. Like that era before they changed over the dash and they put the newer dash in it. That came with a manual. And then after that, they all came automatic. You can't find a 2004 with a manual transmission. It doesn't exist because they didn't make it. It's just like trying to find a four-door with manual windows. You ain't gonna find a manual window four-door. You might find it in the pickups, but you ain't gonna find it here. So I built this one to a manual. I thought it was really cool. I use an NV 3500 because, you know, why not use a truck transmission? And they're actually cool. Is the same, the 4.3 they put in with the truck transmission and the V34 in the full-size trucks. And so this transmission's actually, it's actually a really cool combo. It's got the 373 gears in the back. And so when I did that, it cruises down the highway really nice. But my mistake with it is I put a stage 3 racing clutch in it, which is a lot of fun if you're trying to race car it. Trying to make it into a race car, it's a lot of fun. But if you're not race carring, then it's really not fun because you drive it down a busy street. We drive down 17th Street and Idle Falls, way over there. That's a lot of stop and go, stop and go, stop and go. That kills your knee. And it's probably not good for the clutch either. So, then you say, why'd you get this one? For that reason right there. I love that one to death. I really wanted to build that. I want to put my lift kit on it. I have the lift kit. I have the custom hood for the front of it. I want to put all that on it. I want to put the spare tire rack in the back. I built steps. I was going to put my steps on it. But I didn't do that because it's a stick. It's a racing clutch. It's a bitch to drive up in the woods. I thought it'd be really fun, but it was fun for the first little bit. If I was to do it again, I would build another one into a manual. I would just put a regular clutch in it because there's no reason. Unless I'm building a race car. But even then, I think I would still just put a stage 1 clutch in it. So, this is the new Blazer. It's the LT like I mentioned before. It's got the back hatch, which is really cool because it's got a back hatch. The brown Blazer over there, brown Blazer actually has a tailgate. I don't know how well that'll focus. That's actually got the tailgate where the tailgate drops down and the top opens, which is cool. My first Blazer had that. I really like these though because this part here opens. It opens, it closes. This one here opens, especially when you got the lift on them and they're so tall. The Jimmy over there actually has a 6-inch lift, and when I put the 32-inch tires on it, it's going to sit really tall. It has the back hatch as well. It's one of the harder things to find in the older models, other than the newer ones like 99 to 2005 when they made them, mostly have the back hatches. So it's a lot easier to find newer. This one here is a 2000. That's 1998. I probably should have started with that. I made that decal. Oh, I also made this decal. So funny story with this. Actually, I got a lot of funny stories with this car. This is a ZR4. They didn't make ZR4s, they made ZR2s. That is a real ZR2 over there. And I actually made that decal, put that decal on there. That's in a different video. But the fender flares kind of give it away. Because you don't put fender flares on a fake, on one of these, unless you're Chevy or somebody. Because they're expensive. They're like $300 for the set. So yeah, of course no one's going to do that. But that's a real ZR2 over there. And what it is, it's got a wider stance. The frame actually wides out in the front. And it's got a wider axle in the back. Which is really cool because I'll show you. This video is totally getting off topic. But when you're looking down the side of this thing, you can see how far this tire sticks out from the side. That's why it's got this fender flare. Jerry, you're in my video. And the front is exactly the same. The front sticks out a little bit, which is cool. Now you come look at this Blazer here, and you got this nasty sun glare. But look at where this tire is. It doesn't stick out at all. These ones here stick out because they have the deep dish rims, and that's why they stick out, which is really cool. And the idea I was going to do is I was going to put the fender flares on this, and I was going to call it the ZR4, because a 4-door, they never made the 4-door in a ZR2. They didn't make that. They made 2-door ZR2s, but they never made 4-doors. Unless somebody custom built it. And I actually, out back over there and all my other junk, I have another ZR2 2-door frame. And I thought it'd be so cool to pick this thing up, set it off to the side, take this frame, get rid of this frame, put my engine transmission in the new frame, grab the body, and put the body back on. And you would essentially make you a ZR2. And so I call this one a ZR4 because it's a 4-door, you know, like the ZR2 is a 2-door. So I thought it'd be funny doing that. But I put those on, and then I built it into a manual, and I thought, man, this would be one of those things where people would never think twice about it. And it's also got the custom headlights in it. They're not very bright, so I use the fog lights a lot on it. But I was actually watching some videos. We're going to figure out how to make these even brighter if I don't sell this thing first. And then the tail lights, took this over to Ron's Tire Factory in Rigby, and they melted them for me. They were so kind, they did that. I went for alignment, and they melted my taillights. And then I say, what am I supposed to do with melted taillights? You know what they go? They go, oh, well, we can give you $40 back on credit. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? You melt my taillights, and that's all you want to do? They cost more than that. Okay, so that's enough about that one. I do like that one. I put my heart and soul in building that one with the transmission and all that. This here's my new one. The color actually looks a little bit different. I love that one's color, but I'm gonna have to settle with this one, I guess, because this one's more of a pinkish and that's more of a darker red. But then again, that could just be because, no, it's actually different. I was gonna say because the tires and the headlights and everything darken that one up, but no, this is actually a different color pink. And I'll look at paint codes to verify that. So it does have its little problems. Door handles are falling off on almost every door. This one here is a little, I guess that one's okay, but the other ones are falling apart. This piece here is broken, which I was like, I don't really care. But I had another set. Ironically enough, I have another set of these, what do they call, I don't know what they call these cool looking things. I had another set I was going to put on that one there. So I thought that was really funny, that I was going to put those on this, and then I find this Blazer, and it has all this. You come in here and you see it doesn't have the vinyl leather look, but it does have this. Come in here. My favorite parts about this is got a really cool steering wheel. The steering wheel is actually smaller than the one over in that one. I guess they changed that over because my brother's got a smaller one too, and he's got a 2001. But it does have all these buttons, which is really cool because when you turn this on, it doesn't have an antenna, so it's got static, but basically you just, oh, that doesn't show you anything. Look, I can change the channel by pressing that. And they're like, oh yeah, most new cars have that. I've never had a car that has that before, so I thought that was pretty damn cool. It's got the cassette player in there. It's really dirty. They didn't vacuum it out. but they also weren't expecting to sell it as quick as they did either. So it is the LT, but it's the lower end LT, so it doesn't have the leather seats, and it doesn't have the computer climate control. And I gotta tell you, that's why I got it. It's my favorite part about that. Because I wanted this LT model. I wanted the LT, and I thought I would have loved this leather seats. And I do. I like leather seats, don't get me wrong. They're nice. And then it's got the computer climate control. And it's got this really cool looking bezel. And I thought, man, that bezel looks so cool. I always wanted that. But it's computer climate control. This is a piece of garbage. It's got another computer down here, and all the vacuum lines and everything else. It is a pain. It doesn't work right. I spent a lot of time trying to get this one to work right. So coming over to this one here, this is the LT, but it's the lower LT. It's got the back hatch that I wanted. It's got the back hatch. It's got the steering wheel, which is a plus, because it's got the volume controls. It does not have computer climate. This is all the manual stuff, which is really nice. So the leather seats won't get hot in the summer because these are cloth, which is nice. They're cloth. They won't get too hot in the summer, and I don't have to worry about ripping them or anything else like that. Which that's the only thing I'm really kind of iffy about. But then again, my wife Maddie was telling me, Chevy, all you ever did was bitch about those seats. So it's probably a good thing I have this, and we'll try this for a while. But if I could put my lift kit in this one, it'd be really damn cool. And put a 6-inch lift, my big ass 33-inch tires on this. It's got the back hatch like I wanted. It's basically, after owning this one and knowing everything, all the little quirks and things about this one, all the things I didn't like, because this is what I originally wanted. I found this and I wanted it. It's the LT, it's the leather seats, it's got the back hatch, computer climate control, it's got all sorts of nifty little stuff in it. It had a bad transmission, so I put a manual in it. I thought that'd be the coolest thing. I did all that work to it, and then I found out that's nothing that I want. Except for the color. I love the color on it. So I found this one. It's not exactly the same color. It's a little bit different, but it's close enough. I'm going to have to settle. But I do like this one, because now this will allow me to, it'll allow me to have the cloth interior. It'll allow me to have the non-computer climate control heater controllers. It's actually got the better steering wheel. It's got the better everything. So it's going to turn out to be a better one than that one. Which, I hate saying that, but it will. So that's it. That's my new Blazer. What do you guys think of it? Tell me in the comments.